Welcome to the eSales Podcast, your ultimate guide to mastering the art of online selling. Whether you're an entrepreneur, business owner, digital marketer, or sales professional, this podcast is the passport to dominating the digital marketplace. And in this episode, we talk to Imad, who talks about how sales can actually bring value to the customer and actually solve problems. He is very enthusiastic about sales, and as you see in the podcast, you'll be able to read and hear and feel the radiance and the passion that he has for sales. He's an online coach, and for those of you who are looking at tapping into the online coaching world, this would be the perfect opportunity for you. Tune in, and I hope you enjoy the show. So welcome everyone to this show. I'm so excited to have Imad on our podcast show today. He is basically a clarity coach serving overwhelmed and confused startups and entrepreneurs, promising peace, mind, clarity, and resilience. He has been in business for a very long time, as we just spoke, and started his journey at 17 years old, stumbling through fog, indecisions, and trying to find his own path when it came to business. Now, after years of tackling through different stages, he's found techniques and found different ways of actually breaking through and now being able to achieve complete clarity in his business and also helping other businesses do the same. So Imad, I'm so excited to have you on the show. Welcome. And
thank you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So currently I'm a clarity coach, but you can say this is where I feel where I'm standing. But I started as emotional balance coach. So I was working with only emotions. But then what I found is working with emotions is not enough to transform my life and to transform other people's lives. And to me, if I want to change something, I love to see the change at deeper level. You can say it's the perfectionist mentality when it becomes to achievement.
100%.
Or if something is not working, I will question it immediately. So when I work with emotions, and then I modify that, and then I started to work in skills, on money, and relationships until let's say 2023. That's where I said, wait a second. So change seems to be a holistic approach. So holistic approach, that means I have to learn about emotions, about thought, about mindset, skills. I have to learn as much as I can about different aspects of life to be able to approach change. But then I wanted to focus with entrepreneurs because mainly I want to talk about money from the beginning. I believe it's a critical issue. If I work with someone with their emotions only or with their mindset only, and I don't address money, in my experience, always we end up with a problem. So it's something I believe we have to address it in the beginning. And to address money, I have to address, of course, sales. So if there is no sales, there is no money.
Yes, 100%. I love that so much. And look, money is a massive, massive objection for so many people. And it's not just on the client side, right? It's also the entrepreneur / the owner side when it comes to money and the feeling of asking for money. Am I charging too much? Is it too less? Should I be charging? Should I give people more discount? Tell us more about that, Imad, in your experience.
So in my experience is when I started, I was kind of hesitant to sell. I don't like it. I hated it. But then I started to learn about it actually. And then I came across a book that changed everything for me since then, which is Sell or Be Sold by Grant Cardone. That book to me, is a critical for anyone who wants to learn about sales, or as a matter of fact, if you want to learn about money. So that perspective of that sales a life skills, it's not a business skills. And when you learn to sell, a lot of your problem will be resolved in terms of money, relationship to yourself, relationship to other people, even your leadership skills, your personal, it will develop while you are learning about sales. I'm fascinated with this skill. It feels like it's a skill that has so many other skills within it.
It's so true.
So, and then I learned about sales, but I still didn't like it. Although I see it's essential to learn about it, to learn to do it, but I didn't like it because always when you try to sell something to someone, they guard themselves immediately and communication becomes hard.
Yes.
Until one day, someone sent me a message on Facebook and she was asking me about my services, and then I answered her. I just gave her a short answer because I don't want to sell. I was concerned with pushing. 2 days later, she sent me a message. She said, "Why didn't you sell me? Why didn't you care?" And
Really?
that changed everything since then.
Wow.
Where so I didn't care because I didn't sell you. So something I'm misunderstanding something here. And that's where I started to analyze the situation, and I develop my perspective that sales means care. So if you want something from me and I am 100% sure I can help you, I'll sell you. But
Yeah.
what I will not do, I will not manipulate your emotions. I will not make the decision for you. But definitely I'll explain things to you. I'll show you that I care, and I'll show you that what I have will work for you. And this is the thing is, if you want what I have, and if I want what you have, then why didn't we just make the exchange where there is a pressure here? So
Yes.
that conversation changed everything since then.
I really can resonate with that around finding the solution or the element of care in there. I think a lot of people can read that as well. There's this kind of persona or energy when you can tell some salesperson is sleazy, they're just trying to get money off you versus someone is actually helping that person or a client solve a problem. So when you say care, what do you mean by that? And how can you tell the difference between a problem that you actually care for and you're actually helping them versus something that you like versus a client that you can't actually help?
So care means I have to understand where they are standing in life. I have
Yeah.
to understand what's their financial standing, what are their relationships, are they employees or are they entrepreneurs? I have to know their lives first because
Yeah.
I know my services very well, and I
Yes.
need to understand the other person. Once I understand where they are standing, then I know if I can help them or not. And I have came across some people where I know I cannot help them. It's what they need. What they need is something, although they were interested, but to me, it's regardless if you are interested or not. In the end of the day, if I cannot help you, that means I cannot help you. It's that simple. It's so unless you want to pay for something just because you are interested, that's a different story. But in reality, how I see it in the world of services or in coaching, it's people pay to get help to solve their problems. So if I cannot solve your problem, it's that simple. I cannot. So if I know some people, I can direct you, but I cannot say I can solve your problem if I cannot. That's to me it's too much to handle. So I'd rather say I cannot help you, and this is how will I differentiate. But let me make a point here. It's important for me to connect to them, but really it doesn't matter if they can connect to me. It really doesn't matter because I need to connect to you because I am the one who is offering the solution. So I
Yeah.
need to know that that's your life. But if you cannot connect, look at it this way: when you go to the supermarket, you don't need to connect to the people there to buy something. All you need is you're hungry and you need the food and you get it. It's
Yeah.
same thing with everything. All I care about is can I connect to the person and can I offer them the solution? And that's how I see it.
Yes, yes, so true, so true. And I think that's the difference between someone who is using the listing skills and actually, what's that word, like fine tuning or filtering out the leads. There's a word for it. But that's it just crossed my mind. But to filter out to see who is the right fit for you versus who isn't, and whether you can actually solve their problem or not. I really can
Also,
resonate with that.
qualifying people. I
Qualify.
believe this is
That's the word.
but
God, that's such an important word in sales, and I completely forgot it. How sad is that?
it's this qualifying people is interesting word. Honestly, when I learned it, I didn't like it that much. So I qualify people the way I believe I should. I do it the way I believe I should do it, not the way
Okay.
I learned it,
You know,
because I need to qualify you by understanding you, not by finding a way to sell you what I have. These are not the same thing. So always there is a way to sell, even
mm,
if the person doesn't need what you have. But
yeah.
I qualify you. That means I know what you need and I know what I have that helps you. This is how I qualify you. That means it's always about what I have solve your problem or not, rather than can I sell you or not. Do you see the
Oh,
difference?
great. 100%. I love that. So just let me just repeat that so I can repeat that to the audience. It's more around, it's not about, can I sell you my product? It's more around, can, what do you need? And does my product help solve your problem?
Definitely, yes.
Love
This
it.
is how I qualify people.
Yeah, I love that so much. And
Mhm.
so if for the audience to have that shift in mindset, what tools and techniques might you suggest that you've learned will help them make that mindset shift?
It's before it becomes mindset, actually, it needs to be a decision. You have to make the decision that when you sell, you care. Before even you, because if you change your mindset and you still don't care, people will feel it. People will know that this person just showing me that they care because they're after my money. But you have to make that decision that I want to care for you. I have something for you. This is number one. You have to make that decision.
Mm.
Number two, you have to learn to care, and it's genuine. Care is keyword here, and it's powerful if someone does it genuinely, literally speaking, because that immediately creates trust. But if someone cares, if someone show you that they care but they don't, that the impression that they will get, this person manipulating me, it's you can say, if you care genuinely, uh, and you find the right people, you will succeed. But if you show that you care just by skills you learn, by the mindset, probably you will sell, but you will not win people. You
Mm.
will succeed in selling, but will you win the client? That's a
Yes.
different story. So
Yeah.
the number one is decision. Number two, you have to learn to be genuinely caring person. You have to learn to care. And number three, make sure that you can help them, because
Yep.
that's where care happens. And I help you. If I can help you, then I'll sell you. If I cannot, just say it that I cannot help you. And that
Yep.
doesn't mean you failed as a salesperson. It simply
Yes.
means you cannot help that person. It's that simple.
Yes.
This
Yes,
is
so true. Yes,
yeah.
yes. Just because someone or you didn't make the sale, get money in the bank,
Hmm.
doesn't mean you're a bad salesperson. It just means it
Yeah,
wasn't the right fit at the time, maybe, or maybe the solution isn't right, or maybe it's just a timing thing. Maybe not now, but potentially later they can come back. And I really like that point that you raised around winning the client and winning the client on a mutual person to person respect, not because of the sale, more like I like this person. I like Imad because he's actually helping me out. I might not need his service now, but I know that when I do need it, he's there to help.
definitely. And let me actually, with that being said, let me prepare to get hurt sometimes, at least in the beginning, because when you
Yes.
care when you care and you meet those people who are just guarding themselves, when they look at you as just salesperson, just person after my money, you will
Mm.
get hurt, and you have to learn to bounce back. It's not personal, but it will still hurt. But when you do it once, twice, again and again, you will reach a point where, well, I cared and the person didn't care, then I'll just move on with my life. But you have to learn to bounce back from hurts, because if
Yes.
you don't, that can shut you down and actually potentially can make you hate sales. And this is the
Yes.
last thing you wanted to happen. You want, because
Yes.
you want to learn to sell, and you want to learn that if I get hurt, I'll just bounce back.
So true. So true. Yeah, sales can be a little bit of a trigger point. It does kind of, hit people and punch people in the face sometimes. It does
Yeah.
hurt. It does
Mhm.
hurt.
When I started, actually, it's still happening to me sometimes now. And you call people and you get these reactions, but then it's the more I do it, the easier it gets. It's still
Mm,
affecting at some level, but it becomes easier and easier.
it
And
does.
if I need to, I will have to sit with myself and say, okay, I need pen and paper. I need to write down. Do I have belief system? Do I have emotions? Do I have trauma? Is there something there I need to solve that causing this trigger? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's but the point is, always I'll find a way to bounce back, whether I work on myself or I do it again. But always this balancing. As a matter of fact, learning to balance in life overall and in sales specifically, learning to bounce back more important than success itself.
Mm,
Because if you succeed and something life throws something at you and you don't know how to bounce back, you will be crushed, you will shut down. But when life throws anything at you and you have the confidence that I can bounce back, you wouldn't worry that much. You may get hurt,
yes.
you may get problem here and then, but you will still bounce back at the end of the day.
So true, so true. And I think bouncing back, I think it's also always bouncing back easier said than done, right? So if someone says, no, I don't want your service, for example, you get crushed. Bouncing back, I know you've had a lot of experience saying it over and over again, is hard sometimes, right? If you don't have the right guidance, the right tools, and more importantly, the awareness. And you said something around trigger, like writing your beliefs down around the trigger as to why you felt bad or sad after the rejection, for example, and being aware of that. And I think a lot of people don't have the tools. No, not that they can't, they don't have it. They just don't know how to use those tools from within to bounce back, right? So I think this is. Now, if you're ready to take your skills to the next level and elevate your sales online, then eSales is the perfect school for you. In this school, we talk about the tools, the strategies to automate your sales process and effortlessly attract clients online. I also believe that sales should be fun, easy, light-hearted, and I'll teach you exactly how to do that step by step to actually make sales calls enjoyable and handle objections with confidence. Now, if this sounds like you, if this is something that you truly think that you need in your business right now to scale it to the next level, please sign up and put your name down onto our waiting list. We currently have a list at the moment, but you'd be the first person to hear about it when our enrollment opens. You'll find a link into the waiting list in the description below. So I look forward to seeing you in the school. Really important to have a coach, have a community, or be a part of a group of people who are like-minded or going through the same thing as you to actually help you bounce back from sales.
That's giving up is one of the worst things I have ever seen. The idea of giving, and I always ask myself why someone giving up on themselves or in life or in their goals. And when I investigate the subject, what I found always, and it comes again and again and again, it's always giving up happens to those who don't know how to bounce back. Always. It's not because they didn't succeed, because at some point in their life they did succeed. It's not because they cannot do something, because at some point in their life they did something, they achieved something. But when they get hit once, twice, and then they reach a point where I'm tired, I cannot bounce back, that's where people gives up. And this is where, well, life starts to go down spiral. The moment someone make the decision, I give up, I'm too tired. You can say the person is telling themselves it's the end.
100%.
To get worse.
100%. And I think, look, I've gone through it as well. I actually did go through a time in business where I guess gave up. In hindsight, I look back, it was the right decision. But at the time I gave up. I was really hard on myself. I couldn't bounce back from what I was doing. I just felt tired, exhausted, fatigued, right? And I was by myself in business by myself. So I didn't have that community, and it was quite tough to bounce back. Nonetheless, I'm back now, but it is hard in that time when you're down and don't see it. So I think that's important to communicate with people. And I guess one of the things that the listeners on the show can do is actually reach out to people who they know in business, and also reach out to Imad or myself. And we've got a bit of a waiting list for a school. So if you are interested in having a community around sales, please feel free to join a school that I've got in the waiting list. So we've got the link in the below, so that way you can kind of grow your sales and have a community while you do it at the same time. So I guess, Imad, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about before, apart from bouncing back, is the money objection, right? We touched on that briefly before, but I wanted to tap into your experience around what it's all about and how you overcome the money objection.
Well, it depends on the person I'm dealing with. With some people, it's real. I have to make, and so many of them, it is real. And I have met quite a few of them that when they say we have a money problem, it is a problem. But some, they are just putting the money, they think that money is more important than the service. In other words, they don't see the value in what you have compared to the money they're paying. So one of the ways to do it is to explain your value rather than justifying why they should give you the money. Always you focus in the value you are providing. And let me say something, there is no pushing here when you just explaining your value. But I will reach a point, to be honest, I reach a point where if there is too much objection, I'll say, okay, either we need to have another call, or I have to let the person go. Because this is the thing, I don't like to interfere with people's personal decision. For me, this is something, because I value my personal decisions so much, and I have so much to offer. And yes, I'll offer you my value. I'll show you what that I can help you. And if you have objection, talk to me, and let's see what you have. So a lot of people will not do it, by the way. You have to drag it on, and I don't like this situation. And that's why most of my work is based on referring. People refer others to me. It's not direct sales. A lot of my work happen in this through references. So to go back to your question, how do I overcome it? The real question is, do I overcome objections in real life? Do I? Honestly, I doubt it, because if it happens, it happens. It's I have procedure. I have to go through steps, and if it doesn't work, if I feel the person is too resistant, I stop there, and then I just let it go. Because this is the thing. Yes, I may succeed in overcoming objection, but do I want to continue working with someone who is unable to make their own decision? Do I want to work with someone because if I work with their objections to buy something, that means I will have to with their objections to take action, to do something about their lives. Do I want to work with those people? And if you notice my niche, I work with overwhelmed and confused entrepreneurs. That means I'm working with people who are already made the decision that we want to do something, we wanted something. I don't seek if I need to persuade someone to take action, if I need to persuade, it's not my journey. I know it's the trend. I know this is how people do it, but it's not something I entertain at all. Yes, it's my responsibility to handle certain objection, but not pushing and not trying to persuade them that what I have is helping them. Because if someone does it to me, as a matter of fact, let me tell you something. Once I found out that it's my decision to make, it's not for the salesperson to make the decision for me, whether I buy something or not. Once I found that, I believe since last year, I didn't allow anyone to push me to buy anything. I said, we can discuss it and allow me to analyze it logically. Don't try to manipulate my emotions. I don't like it. It's my emotions. It's my life. It's for me to decide. And if my decision is wrong, if I don't buy something and that wasn't a good decision, it's on me, and I take full responsibility. So this is how I look at it.
Love it. I love it. And I think when it comes to money, you're right. Sometimes there is an actual objection where they can't actually afford the product or whatever it may be. But sometimes they do use that as an excuse, right? So sometimes pushing through, doing too pushy pushes people away. But sometimes if you, as a salesperson, as you say, make them realize the value of what they're getting, then your money just kind of follows, and no matter what, they'll make it happen and they'll make it work, right?
Yeah. This is the thing. When the way I treat sales, or the way I use sales, helps me connect with my clients. And almost always, I would say, I don't want to exaggerate it and say 100%, but I would say probably 98%, even after we finish the services, I still connect with my clients. It's there. And not all of them are in the mailing list. It's just that connection. It's still there. Sometimes they still need services, something, they will come back. And I'm happy with that. To me, that gives me fulfillment, that where there is no tension. In relationships, I don't like tension. It's, to me, if there is a tension in relationships, there's something is wrong. Probably that helps him. Probably that helps him, but still there is a tension. That the fact is there's tension. This is what I don't like it. It needs to be mutual. It needs reciprocity. You understand that you need my services, and I understand, or let's say, you understand that I need your money, and you understand that you need my service, and we do the exchange. And if there is a problem, let's talk, let's communicate, and let's take it from there. And this is how I love to do my sales, let's say, communication with people.
Yeah. And look, I think what I'm hearing as a bit of a theme for this show is, the ability of just tapping in and just really listening and really understanding where your prospect is at, and basically whether you can help or not. And it's just through conversation. It's just a simple conversation that happens without pre-entered scripts or anything like that. It really is just pure human connection.
It's connect. And yes, there are some people who will not like it, but those who like it and those who buy from you, well, prepare for long-term relationship.
That's so true.
It's with those who, when you didn't succeed, well, it's not, you didn't. But once that connection happened, once you build that trust, as a matter of fact, once you care and they know they care and they experience it, once they buy your services once and they believed it that you care, now prepare for long-term relationship. Now you are the go-to person. And that's what I'm doing in the long run.
I love that so much. Prepare for a long-term relationship. That's so good. That's so, I haven't heard that before. I think that's golden nuggets just there. I think sales is relationships. It just really is building relationships with people.
Yeah.
So good. So I think there's so many golden nuggets that you've spoken about. So I guess my question to you, how can people find out more about you, and where can they connect?
They can find me in my website, Imad Aldajani, EMADALDAJANI.com, or which is my preferred way, my number directly. I love direct messages because I'm very responsive, and this is a world of coaching. I do truly believe that if I will work with someone, they need to have access to me. This is my belief. Up to now, I don't believe in recording. As of this meeting or as of this, I don't believe it. So my number is +642256255790. Feel free to reach me at my number, and I'm very responsive.
Yes, I love that so much. And thank you so much for being able to be available for people. And I think it's so important when it comes to sales, just that responsiveness, and it's just the ability for people to hear that they've been heard on the other side, right? Not just the message and then no one responding back. So thank you so much for putting that. I will actually have all your details in the description rather than people listening back to it over and over again. So it's just a click of a button to make it easier for you. But before we actually close off on the show, Imad, is there anything that, actually, no, let me rephrase the question. What is the one thing, just the one thing, that the audience can do right now to help improve their sales?
Read, sell, or be sold as soon as possible.
Done. I love it. That's the pivot point for you. That's the book that's pivot point for you, right?
Yeah, it was a pivot point for me.
Oh, incredible. Read that book, Dan. I also have that book in the description as well, and so people can read through. But again, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. And again, for those of you listening or those of you who are tuning into the YouTube, please feel free to sign up to the waiting list. We are really excited to launch this new sales school where you can learn all about sales, how to actually overcome objections. We'll have expert guest speakers, and also we'll have a done for you service of building your websites, building your pipeline, so that way you can get all the tech away and focus on getting on the call and helping people out. So thank you so much again, Imad. It has been a pleasure. I really hope that we can have another conversation through soon. I love your energy, your vibe. And any last words before we close off the show?
Thank you. It was my pleasure to be in the show.
Thank you so much again for tuning into the show. If you're keen on signing up to the sales school, please click the link below. Otherwise, please like, subscribe, and share our show to your network so that way we can help build a community of fun sales for everyone. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. My name's V, and remember to keep selling, keep being you, and keep having fun. See you in the next episode. Wanna hear